The manhwa begins with a person using his chained axe to sever the head of the enemy leader. This person is our main character, Yeon Hojeong. A voice echoes from behind where an elderly person gravely injured and supported by a rock inquired, "Is he dead?" Hojeong responds, "Can't he see his severed head?" The old person replies he haven't been able to see anything for a moment. Hojeong stated, "That's unfortunate," and walks towards the old person sitting in front of him. Hojeong stated, "It's all done." The old person inquired, "Is it?" and he stated, "So he did good." Hojeong replies he also did well too. Hojeong reflects the lust cult was strong enough to drench the central districts in blood within a few years. In the end, the Orthodox and Unorthodox factions had to join forces against them, and everything ended with today's final battle. He thought his life would soon end. The old man inquired, "Is he okay?" Hojeong responded, "Well, somewhat." The old man remarks, as expected of the supreme leader of the Unorthodox faction. If not for him, the seeds of the Unorthodox faction would have dried up over a decade ago. Hojeong acknowledges same for him. If not for him, the leader of the Murim Alliance, the Orthodox Alliance, would have been wiped from the central districts. The old man stated he may be right. He is none other than Black Emperor Yeon Hojeong after all. However, he has something to ask of him. Hojeong inquires, "What is it?" The old man inquired he were selected by one of the great families as the Orthodox successor, so what made him want to become the leader of the Unorthodox faction? Hojeong remains silent for a moment and replies, "That's just how things turned out." The old man comments what a fitting answer for him. Hojeong questions why did he ask him about that. The old man explains he wanted to gain closure on something he was curious about before he died. Hojeong inquired how much longer do he think he can hold on? The old man responded less than 8 minutes. Hojeong stated he will see him off until the end. The old man expressed gratitude and replied, "Do not resent him." Meanwhile, a person concealed behind a rock aimed a needle at Hojeong and launched it towards him. The needle struck Hojeong's chest, causing him intense pain. It was then that Hojeong realized the needle was made of cow hair and the person who threw it was Tang Quan. He thinks, was he not dead? The old man stated he won't ask him to understand. Who would stop him if he died? He will apologize in the afterlife. He will be going first. They will meet again. Hojeong thinks, damn it. He would have died either way even until the end. Why do he suffer such a fate? 26 years prior, the day his world, the Green Mountain Yeon Clan, collapsed, his father passed away after fighting off villain. Even his younger sibling met an early death. His clan was destroyed and he was left alone under the heavens in the central districts without a single being to rely on. In the end, he headed to the Unorthodox faction and climbed the ranks with tooth and nail to become the leader. That's how he desperately fought for his survival. It was all for nothing. Even the last moment of his life is filled with pain and betrayal. Then he heard a voice saying, "Study thoroughly about the duty to the clan." Hojeong wondered, what is this? Is he in heaven? The person continued, "Gain enlightenment over 1,000 years, then desire ascension to godhood." Hojeong thinks these aren't the Buddhist scriptures. The voice repeated the same message: study thoroughly and endlessly and fulfill their duty to their clan. Gain enlightenment over 1,000 years, then desire ascension to godhood. Hojeong pondered, a high priest? This seems familiar. A dream? Or is it a hallucination? Suddenly someone touched him and stated, "Hey." Hojeong turned his attention towards the person. It was his younger brother Jipyeong, who stated these are the ancestral rites and inquired what is he doing. He warned Hojeong to sit down already as their father was watching. Someone shouted his name from behind, causing him to turn around and thinks, is that his father's voice? Noticing his father, he quickly rushed towards him, but his father grabbed his hand and forced him to kneel before him. There was silence from both sides, and then his father stated he is creating a commotion during the rites. Is he out of his mind? He will ask for an explanation later. Go to the ancestral home and repent to his ancestors for 3 days. In response, Hojeong agreed and stated, "Father, he will do that." Hojeong thought, is he really alive? Noticing his body, he thinks scars, calluses, and even the wound from the cow hair needle are gone. This is his past, the one he have longed for all this time. He have returned to the Green Mountain Yeon Clan. At the ancestral home, Hojeong entered the house and stated, 3 days father is as merciless as ever. Hojeong thinks, why have he returned? He cannot just happily accept it. An unexplainable event like this will become a problem in the future. Damn it. Whatever, it's not like he will come to an answer with nothing more than thinking about it. But how old is he right now? 18 or 19? Judging by the weather, it seems like they are in the fall. Going by how old his father and Jipyeong look, this seems to be about 26 years in the past. He recalled the memories when his clan was destroyed and shouted in anger, damn it all. In less than a year and a half his Green Mountain Yeon Clan will be destroyed. He don't have time to lay down and relax. He quickly approached the door, opened it, and found his younger brother in front of the door. Jipyeong inquired, brother, is he going somewhere? Don't he need to stay here for 3 days? Hojeong inquired, that's right. But why is he here? Jipyeong put his hand in his pocket and stated he know it's a punishment, but he was worried about him since he did only be drinking water for 3 days. He picked out rice balls from his pocket. Meanwhile, Hojeong thinks in a year and a half Jipyeong will die. While checking the surroundings, Jipyeong exclaimed, please eat this before father finds out. Hojeong in deep contemplation thinks father as the clan head, he will perish by the villain's sword along with the rest of the clan. Do not make him laugh. Now he will strike them down first. He will prepare properly and prevent it from happening. Jipyeong, concerned, inquired from his brother, is he okay? Hojeong continued with his thoughts, he shall slaughter them all. 3 days later, Hojeong opened the ancestral home. 2 servants greeted him respectfully, bowing their heads. A little while later, in front of the patriarch's room, 2 gatekeepers greeted him, saying, young master, what brings him to the patriarch's residence? Hojeong replied, to see his father. Sangwi, one of the gatekeepers, inquired if the patriarch specifically requested him. Hojeong responded, no. Sangwi stepped forward and stated in that case he may not enter. Hojeong replied he is in a hurry. The other guard informed him that they are under strict orders not to let anyone in until noon. Hojeong inquired about the strict orders, to which the guard apologized and suggested he try another day. Hojeong then requested tell him something for him and inquired, is that possible? Sangwi assured him, of course, please say it. Hojeong conveyed his message, stating tell him that he will learn the true azure silk technique in advance. Sangwi, shocked by his words, inquired, did he say the true azure silk technique just now? Hojeong confirmed, saying that's right. Tell him that. He will be going now. In his thoughts, Hojeong declared, just you wait, true azure silk technique. Sangwi explained to the other guard, it's one of the 5 great martial arts of the Yeon Clan. The young master will learn it? The other guard questioned, does that mean he succeeded with the flying swallow method, which is the previous stage? Sangwi replied, there's no way. It's impossible for the young master, though if it were the second young master it might be possible. In the past, Hojeong had hated Jipyeong because of his unprecedented talent, to the point where the patriarch would occasionally talk about Jipyeong alone. As a result, Hojeong treated his younger brother as if he didn't exist. Jipyeong expressed his concerns, saying even if it's a punishment, starving someone is way too harsh. How can someone last in a fight when the only thing they consumed prior was water? In a nervous tone, Jipyeong inquired, is he not hungry? Should he bring him some food? He think he have found an inn he might like. It's a place called the Old Sunny Kitchen. At the moment, Hojeong stopped and turned to Jipyeong, which made Jipyeong a little nervous. Hojeong apologized, saying he is sorry for how he have treated him up until now. He is an unfit person because he couldn't support his growth. His behavior was petty and childish, driven by his pointless pride. He apologized and stated it won't happen again. Jipyeong started to say something, but Hojeong interrupted, saying he is really sorry for causing him trouble. Even if he don't forgive him, he hope he will at least be willing to bury the hatchet. Jipyeong thinks his brother has changed. He doesn't hate him anymore and started crying. Hojeong breathed a sigh of relief. Meanwhile, the gatekeepers observed both of them from their positions. A little later, at the Old Sunny Kitchen, Jipyeong said, but brother, your flying swallow key has gotten much more lively. Hojeong inquired, he can tell that? Jipyeong replied, yes, the way he walked was different from usual. The key seemed to be slightly ahead of his body. Hojeong thinks for 3 days at the ancestral home, he practiced the flying swallow method. It was a dangerous plan, but his blood vessels, meridians, dantian, bones, and his body had regressed as well. It was because he had to forcibly draw out the innate ki from that body. This isn't easy. Jipyeong thinks brother's flying swallow method should be at 7 stars. Realizing this, Jipyeong inquired, then could it be that? Hojeong interjected, saying that's right. He have mastered the flying swallow method. In surprise, Jipyeong stood from his chair and exclaimed, really? Congratulations, brother. Hojeong thinks because of the change in his innate ki, his gait has changed slightly. Even so, to think he noticed that extremely subtle change with only his eyes. As expected, his brother's senses are incredible. Noticing someone's ki, Jipyeong turned around and stated, that's a familiar ki? It looks like a friend has come. Hojeong thinks there are 3 of them, and one of them is at a considerable stage. Jipyeong stated he will go greet them. At the moment, Jipyeong bumped into a girl named Manhwa, and she glanced at him angrily. She started moving towards the nearest table. Meanwhile, Jipyeong apologized for bumping into her. His friend Yang Woo approached Jipyeong, saying hi to him. Jung Hak inquired, what does she think, young lady? Of the Namgung clan? Isn't the scenery incredible? Sanghwa replied not particularly. Yang Wu asked Jipyong what is he doing here, and asked him come to where they are sitting. Jipyong replied he cannot, he is speaking with his brother right now. Yang Wu inquired where is he. Meanwhile Jung-hak laughed and stated if she tastes the fish dishes here then her mood will change. At that moment Jipyong approached Jung-hak saying hi brother. Jipyong stated he thought he should introduce him to his older brother. Jung-hak inquired his brother is here? As Hojeong stand up from the chair and introduced himself as Yeon Hojeong and the older brother of Jipyong. In response he also introduced himself saying he is Jung-hak of the untimely family. Sanghwa inquired did he bring her here just for the scenery? Jung-hak replied of course not, and turned to Yang Wu saying hurry and order some dishes. Yang Wu replied yes brother. Sanghwa looked at the food tray and inquired he called that a dish? Jipyong feeling a little down apologized to his brother and stated he shouldn't have taken him here. To cheer him up Hojeong stated to commemorate his success, why not buy him a congratulatory drink? Jipyong became happy and replied of course brother. Order as many drinks as he want. A little later Sanghwa shouted how dare he dare preach to her? Jung-hak stated young mistress please calm down. There are people watching. Sanghwa inquired people watching? Is he talking about the insects or them? Jung-hak said it would be good for her to refrain from speaking. They were children from the prestigious Green Mountain Yeon Clan, who were part of the same 7 great clans as her. Sanghwa inquired if the Green Mountain Yeon Clan was prestigious, questioning when the Namgung clan acknowledged the scrappy Yeon Clan as one of the 7 great clans. Sanghwa instructed them to attempt whispering, emphasizing that all she needed to do was dismantle the trap. Hojeong thought that this situation was souring the alcohol. Jipyong stood up from his chair and turned towards Sanghwa in anger. Hojeong called out Jipyong's name. Jipyong inquired of Sanghwa don't she think she is going too far? Sanghwa replied what is he talking about? Jipyong replied such abusive language and excessive insults. Are those the customs of the Namgung clan? Sanghwa chuckled and stated do he think he is someone special just because people praise him as one of the 7 great clans? Jipyong responded if not then she haven't received proper education. Sanghwa became angry and punched the table, breaking it in half. She stated it seems she need to cut him open and check his guts. Hojeong said to Jipyong if he see people like these again next time don't waste his time. Guys like them won't be too late to fix after beating them up. Sanghwa smiled and inquired he fix her while pointing towards him. Sanghwa turned to Jung-hak and ordered him make them kneel in front of her right now. Confused Jung-hak inquired me? In response Sanghwa slapped him hard and questioned do he wish for her to prevent his family from living in Anhui territory? So if not make them kneel. Jung-hak moved towards Hojeong and said he heard her so hurry up and kneel. Meanwhile Hojeong grabbed Jung-hak's head firmly causing him intense pain. Then Hojeong quickly positioned himself and delivered a powerful punch, causing Jung-hak to crash to the ground in pain. Seeing this Sanghwa rushed forward to attack saying you vermin. Hojeong positioned himself for the incoming attack. Sanghwa shouted he is insane. Heavenly wind palm with bare hands? She hoped she dislocate his shoulder and break his arm. As she used her palm technique to attack, Hojeong swiftly grabbed her arm and break it. Sanghwa thinks her clear sky key was cut off. She said you bastard and questioned what did he do to her? Her talk was interrupted as Hojeong break her leg causing her intense pain. Sanghwa stated don't come near her. Stop right there. Whether he was pushed or stabbed, the severity of the injury didn't matter. As long as he was harmed he would rush to attack and rip them apart. That was the Black Emperor's precept. As Hojeong's didn't halt, prompted Sanghwa to angrily shout he is a vile being. Do he believe his clan will remain unscathed? Just you wait. She will ensure that the entire Yeon clan of Green Mountain is obliterated. Hojeong's anger was evident in his eyes as he leaned forward towards her. He questioned how will she do that? Sanghwa taken aback inquired what is he talking about. Hojeong replied he asked her how will she eradicate him and his clan? Jipyong standing behind him stated brother that enough? Sanghwa with a heavy heart stated she is from the Namgung clan. Frustrated Hojeong kicked the nearby table breaking it. Grabbed a wooden stick from the wreckage. He declared well then this is all the more reason for him to kill and bury her. That way the Namgung clan won't know right? In response Sanghwa pleaded for her life tears streaming down her face. The following day at the Patriarch's residence, the Patriarch asked Hojeong to explain himself. Hojeong responded by saying that they had fought over a mutual conflict. The Patriarch expressed dissatisfaction stating that it was not what he had asked for. There was a moment of silence between both parties, and Jipyong became nervous about what Hojeong would say next. The Patriarch then mentioned that the son of the Li clan had a ruined face, while the daughter of the Namgung clan had a broken arm and leg. He also heard that the girl had severe external and internal injuries, which would take at least 6 months to recover from. Hojeong argued that the other party had displayed killing intent while demanding them to grovel. The father pointed out that they could have left the area and questioned whether Hojeong was unaware of the consequences of a fight between the children of 2 clans. Hojeong asked if they were truly one of the 7 great clans, to which the patriarch asked for clarification. Hojeong explained that the girl did not seem to acknowledge them as one of the 7 great clans. The patriarch remained silent in response to Hojeong's remark. A little later he left the room and reflected on what the patriarch had said earlier. He realized that even if his situation justified his actions, behaving brutally was not the orthodox way. The orthodox way was the way of the Yeon Clan, and the will of their father. Perhaps he became too accustomed to the unorthodox ways of the faction, considering he lived as the Black Emperor for about 30 years. Hojeong also worried about how to handle the true azure silk technique, fearing that the father would reprimand him if he asked about it now. In the Namgung clan treatment room, a doctor examined Sangwa's condition while her father, the patriarch of the Namgung clan, was present. The patriarch asked about her condition, and the doctor informed him that it was less severe than expected. However, the doctor expressed concern about the wound on her heart, explaining that she had experienced a great shock. While her body would recover within 6 months, there was nothing the doctor could do about the impact on her mind. The patriarch fell silent, and his expression becoming serious as he looked towards his daughter. Meanwhile, as the doctor exits the room, a young man named Hyan, also the second son of the patriarch, enters. Hyan greeted him and the patriarch turns his attention towards him. Hyan inquired what do he think. The patriarch replied she was injured quite severely, even though he sent her out so she could learn and experience the world. Hyan stated Sangwa must also have learned something from the incident. However, though he might have helped her realize the preciousness of life, there's no need for them to forgive a thug. The patriarch revealed the man responsible is from Yeon Clan. Hyan exclaimed they are a clan with only 50 years of history, and that clan dared to touch their Namgung clan, and questioned is he thinking of holding back and leaving them be? The patriarch replied of course. Just because one child was injured doesn't mean he intend to wrestle with a force of that size. Hyan agreed that is right. He is the head of a family so he cannot act rashly in such situations. The patriarch asked what about the thug? Hyan responded of course the individual responsible must be thoroughly dealt with. He's the one at fault so there's no need for them to act in haste. When will this year's gathering of successors be? Then the scene shifted to Yeon Clan. Jipyeong questioned the gathering of successors? Patriarch confirmed saying correct. It is a festival that many of the 7 great clans' next generation disciples participate in. It is in name a place meant for the clans to grow closer and harmonize with each other. This is the entrance permit. It will open in Hafein, Anhui, so head out before the 15th of this month. He will send the Blue Operation Squad with him. Jipyeong questioned is he going? And also you want him to take the elite martial arts organization squad of the Green Mountain Yeon Clan? Patriarch inquired is there a problem? Jipyeong suggested for a festival like this, wouldn't it be better for his elder brother to go instead? Patriarch expression turned serious as he replied his brother is dangerous. Confused Jipyeong asked about it. Patriarch asked doesn't he seem to have changed recently? It's as if he's a completely different person. Meanwhile in the forest Hojeong practiced with an iron rod. As he practiced with the rod none stopped. After a while he dropped the rod on the ground, and said so this is still his limit. Hojeong thought forget the axe, he is having a hard time even wielding this 12 kilograms iron rod. How long will it take for him to regain his strength at this rate? As he tried to leave the forest a voice echoed from behind, saying was he training? Hojeong questioned why did he come all the way here? Patriarch stated it seems that even at night he is training hard. Hojeong remarked he wanted to properly learn the spear and staff. Patriarch inquired, spears and staves but he won't train with the sword? Hojeong replied no. Patriarch questioned why is that? The great techniques of their clan are closely connected to swordsmanship. As the eldest son of the Yeon Clan, training with the sword may suit him better. Hojeong stated even if he forced himself to learn the sword, what use would it be if he couldn't use it properly? His response was met with silence. Hojeong stated the martial path is felt through the body. If he have found a path that fits his body, then he should walk that path. Patriarch remained silent and started to move away, then stopped at a little distance and inquired he heard from gatekeeper Sangwi that he wished to learn the true azure silk technique. Hojeong replied yes that's right. Patriarch stated the true azure silk technique is one of the clan's 5 great divine arts. No one within the clan may learn any of the 5 great divine arts without his express permission as the patriarch. He then inquired he have something he wished to ask him. His answer will affect whether or not he give his permission for him to learn the true Azure Silk technique. Then the scene shifted to when the Green Mountain Yeon Clan was attacked. The guard ordered the others to protect the Green Mountain Yeon Clan and defend the Patriarch's study. Sangwi, the gatekeeper, entered the room completely exhausted and reported to the Patriarch that they couldn't stop the attackers anymore. The Patriarch stated, and that is the entirety of the 5 great divine arts. Jipyeong remarked, Father, he will also fight. The Patriarch replied, take it. It's the original manual of the 5 great divine arts. He then turned around and stated, hurry up and go. The entire Iron Wall squad will drive out those villains and defend the Yeon Clan. The Iron Wall squad responded, yes, sir. In the present, Patriarch stated, let me ask him a question. Did he know the forms of the true Azure Silk technique? He told Gatekeeper Sangwi ahead of time that he would memorize the true Azure Silk technique. In other words, he already know it. Hojeong replied, it's not only the true Azure Silk technique. Patriarch was taken aback by his remarks. Hojeong continued, he know all the forms of the 5 great divine arts. Patriarch inquired, did he really know all the forms of the 5 great divine arts? Hojeong confidently replied, that's right. Hojeong thinks since father taught him, he wish he could tell him everything, the past he have lived and the incoming dangers. But it is not the time yet. He tightened his grip on the iron rod. Hojeong then stated, hadn't he taken him to the martial arts library when he was young? Patriarch inquired, he still remember the forms that he saw back then and laughed. Hojeong replied, yes. His father thinks, is he lying? His eyes are telling the truth. He truly knows the forms. Then why is he in such a hurry? Do he have a reason that he do not know? Patriarch then stated, all right, come to his study tomorrow morning. He will help him develop his Flying Swallow key to true Azure Silk key. The next morning, Patriarch thinks half a month. That will be more than enough since he also took that long. As Patriarch released his key, it was rapidly absorbed by Hojeong. He continued to release more and more key, which Hojeong absorbed. After a little while, Patriarch couldn't believe it, thinking, it cannot be. It hasn't even been an hour since he started the exercises. Hojeong breathed out a sigh of relief, stood up and stated, it's finished. Patriarch remained silent, impressed by the great speed. Hojeong mentioned that it was a meaningful time as he was able to feel his father's key. Patriarch acknowledged his hard work and mentioned that there would soon be a gathering of successors. Hojeong replied with a simple yes. Patriarch then expressed his wish to send Jipyeong instead of Hojeong to that gathering. Hojeong understood and replied, is that so? Patriarch inquired if it was alright with him, which Hojeong replied, of course. Patriarch then inquired if he didn't want to participate in the gathering, and Hojeong responded, of course he don't. Who wants to see a bunch of kids who are still wet behind the ears bragging about themselves? Just thinking about it is enough to put him off. After some days, Jipyeong exclaimed, whoa, brother, that carriage is so big. Hojeong agreed and stated, yes, he is right. Jipyeong inquired if he saw the small carriage that was very fast, to which Hojeong simply replied yes. A month later in Anhui City, Jipyeong exclaimed, whoa, the food over there looks tasty. Meanwhile, Hojeong thinks, wasn't he not supposed to go to the gathering of successors? Well, this is better. This is a chance to figure out the enemy's true nature. The enemy will either be in the great old institution, or the 7 great clans. He remembered it clearly. The villain's innate ki and hand-to-hand technique was from the Orthodox Faction. Excluding his clan, there are a total of 6 clans participating in the gathering. Among them is the Namgang, Moyong and Dang clan. He should keep his eye on the remaining 3, the Ping clan, the Myong clan and the Jegal clan. In a forest near Anhui City, a young man named Jegal June sweated nervously as another person threw a bag towards him. Swiftly he dodged the bag, causing it to hit a nearby tree and explode. Reacting quickly, June moved away from the explosion. Frustrated, the person exclaimed, damn, he is quite a fast one. From behind him someone else remarked, it's too much really, causing the attacker to turn towards the voice. To his surprise, it was Ahayan, June's older sister. She commented, there are so many old trees to use a fire technique. Did he use it all from his pocket? Without hesitation, she rushed towards him and used her palm technique to hit him in the stomach, causing him to be pushed backwards and crash into the trees behind him. Approaching her, June questioned, why is he always the bait? Ahayan retorted, then should his older sister be the one to act as bait? If he think it's unfair, then he should have been born first. Put the fire out quickly because she is hungry. Realizing the urgency of the situation, Ahayan stated, they are going to be late to the gathering of successors if this continues. Let's run. June pleaded, wait for him. At the Thorny Melody Pavilion, people were enjoying their drinks and meals. June and Ahayan were also eating their meal when Ahayan heard a scream. She asked his brother, did he hear it too right? She then exclaimed, "Come out," and rushed out with great speed, causing June kneel to splash on his face. June replied he heard nothing. Meanwhile, someone who had been badly injured dropped his rod while practicing against Hojeong. Hojeong commented, "The trajectory is stable. He also have a refined form. But can't he fight like it's a real battle?" Frustrated, the person gritted his teeth and pleaded please let him try one more time. While hiding nearby, June and Ahyan observed the practice fight. The person managed to block one of Hojeong's attacks, but Hojeong redirected his attack in a way that the other person misread, causing him to land a strike on his stomach and he crashed to the ground in pain. Ahyan mentioned that what she had heard earlier. In his thoughts, Hojeong believed he did it. His body feels light. It must be the result of training whenever he could. The true Azure Silk technique is more stable now. He should be able to advance to the Four Guardian Gods technique soon enough. His thoughts were interrupted as he noticed the leader of the Blue Operations Squad, Shinmo, approached Hojeong, who said he need to wash up. He will leave the guests to him. Shinmo replied, "Yes, young master." He's serious his expression as Hojeong leaves and said he can wait all day long. Ahyan then revealed herself, saying her name is Jigel Ahyan, and she apologized. She came here because she heard a scream, but she ended up absorbed watching. She then picked up her brother from hiding. Shinmo scolded both of them, saying it's rude to peep on a spar. In his thoughts, Hojeong realized she's from Jigel. He faintly noticed their key. She stated it's his brother's fault for running here. She will make sure to scold him. June said he have never done that. Hojeong continued with his thoughts, but the nature and utilization of their key is different from the perpetrator. He can't jump to the conclusion until he see their martial art. Even a monk can become a murderer in the Murim world. As Ahyan noticed Hojeong, she turned around and she thinks he's also peeping. Who is he scolding? That night a large explosion happened at the gate of Thorny Melody Pavilion, causing the people eating their meals to run for their lives. Mabong, the person who caused the explosion, announced, "So the guy who harmed his subordinate is around here. Come out already, if not he is going to burn down this entire place otherwise." June asked, "What is this fire?" Ahyan explained it's the continuation of what happened yesterday. Confused, June inquired. Ahyan stated he's the boss of the guy she defeated. June inquired, "Sister, they need to request the Yeon Clan for help." As her sister leaped into the air, June stated sure he will do it. She landed on the roof and announced she is here. "Can he stop playing with fire?" The injured person stated, "Boss, she's the one that attacked him yesterday. Let's catch and torture her." To his surprise, Mabong hit him in his stomach with his palm technique, causing him to crash to the ground. Mabong stated he hit him because he can't see her because of him. Mabong stated, "Come down so they can talk. They should stand face to face before they introduce themselves." She thought he used shady palm, a palm technique that can cause deep-rooted illness with injecting ki, and she inquired what if she refused. Mabong ordered his subordinates to throw the explosive bags because she just refused him. As the explosive bag approached her, she became a little nervous. June jumped forward and used the lesser Sky-Foot Soul technique to grab all the explosive bags in midair. As he landed on the ground, he was hit by several poison daggers, causing him to vomit blood. She wondered if this was the scent of poison. Mabong assured her not to worry and claimed to have the antidote. He stated that he needed to keep them alive in order to sell them, regardless of their gender. He proudly introduced himself as the Lord of Fire and Lightning and shared his name as Mabong philosophy. She demanded that he spit out the antidote immediately. Meanwhile, Hojeong watched the fight from the balcony. Jipyeong ran towards him and calling him. Jipyeong suggested informing the Blue Operations Squad to focus on extinguishing the fire, as the Jigel clan had also requested assistance. Hojeong calmly reassured him that the fire wouldn't spread further due to the wind blowing in the opposite direction. Jipyeong proposed helping the Jigel clan as quickly as possible. However, Hojeong remained silent, focusing his gaze on the ongoing fight. Jipyeong nervously inquired from his brother what they should do next. Hojeong's eyes narrowed as he thought, urging her to not stop and to show him more of the martial art of the Jigel clan. He warned that if they were the ones responsible for ending their clan, he would turn the entire province of Hubei into a sea of fire, starting with her. This marks the conclusion of the first part of this manhwa. The second part will be uploaded tomorrow, so don't forget to show your support by liking and subscribing to the channel for future updates. Looking forward to seeing you in the next video.